generic time of the day to all the people watching, and I want to welcome to this program a very important personality. You know, in Nigeria, when we introduce anybody, we have to call the person a very important personality. If not, they might switch off their camera or switch off the phone, and then they won't be part of the broadcast again. But today we are going to be interviewing architect Tunde Oyekola. He's an architect and the principal partner at is it El-Mansur? Did I get it right?
El-Mansur Atelier. Yep.
El-Mansur Atelier, yes, because some of us that didn't go to private school, some of these pronunciations are hard. That's its main 9 to 5 job. But today we are not going to be talking about the design of.
No, it's not. It's not 9 to 5. It's 24-hour service.
It's 24-hour service. Oh, okay. We're not going to be talking about his job as an architect. We're not going to be talking about all the beautiful designs like they did at Saba Airport, the Adamawa Plaza, Duse International Airport, Inca Plaza, and so many other jobs that we will have talked about if we were talking about architecture, but that's not what we're talking about. Today, we're going to handle something very dear to me and very dear to Tunde also, which is fitness. How do people keep fit? And if you are not fit, how can you get into the fitness life? So, Tunde, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. Nice for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you just tell us a little bit, how was your life? I'm dividing your life into two, before fitness, before running and after running. What made you to start running? So a little bit of what you were doing before you started running.
Okay. Let me put it this way. I've generally been a very active person growing up. You name the sport, I've played it. So that's generally been my life, you know. So I would probably split it into before I started practicing architecture and after. So maybe that's probably a better way.
Okay,
because that puts it into better context or better perspective. Now, like I said, I'd always been into one sport or the other. Up to high school, I was always playing. Every boy generally, or most boys played football. So that's what I used to do. Then I played table tennis fairly competitively because I'm a reasonably competitive person, you know. And another thing is, for me, if it's worth doing, then it's worth doing at all. It's worth doing well. So if I decide to do, if I decide to do anything, I throw myself into it. If I can't make the commitment, I don't even start. So for me, it's black and white. There's no gray area. So I started architectural practice, and architecture is very demanding. You know, that's why I said 24 hours, because you're always working, and you never really finish. So it's extremely demanding. And then there's family life. I'm into ministry as well, Christian ministry. So there's ministry life. So my cups are pretty full, you know. Every day from start to finish, there's always something to be doing. So there's never a dull moment. But you know, as the business began to grow, of course, it was demanding more and more time. Then you had to balance with the family. Then you had to balance with ministry too. So I was fine. What I tried to do was to, at every point in time, try and put some activity into my regimen. Now I don't know whether to describe myself as a morning person or an evening person, because as an architect, you're always working. You know, I mean, you hear this from architects all the time.
Yes.
But I figured that if I needed to do anything, I needed to get it done in the morning, because once the day starts, you never know when the day will end.
Okay.
You know, and so I played a healthy dose of tennis, and but the problem with tennis is you need a partner, and you need a tennis court. So you need to get out there and find a partner. And for me, that was limiting, because it meant that my timing was dependent on someone else. My timing, outside my control. You know, my time, and so that became a bit of a problem. Then I started, believe it or not, I started golf, because I had a few friends who were playing golf, and I said, okay, let's try this. I enjoyed it, but golf was probably worse than tennis because you have to get yourself to the golf course. And while you can play alone, it's really very boring. But it's also very time consuming. To play 9 holes, you are going to spend about at least 2 hours there. If there's nobody there and you have fairly fast people. To play 18 holes, you're going to do double that, 4 hours. You know, people are fast. So yes, I enjoy. And then when you travel, because my job takes me around a lot, it means looking for a golf course now. That's not easy. You know, so that's also
right you to the club and all that.
Exactly. So, and then you have to take your golf clubs because you are playing with another set of clubs. It was always a problem. So that was my life before, and then we'll get to that probably during the interview. But then I literally stumbled into running, and you know, it basically answered all my questions, you know, and checked all the boxes that I had, you know, on how to get this thing going. First of all, I could do it alone, which was really good for me. I had my time. I had full control of when to do it. Third of all, it was quote unquote quick, you know, so I can get out there, do it, come back and start my day, and so on. So that's how so I would say I stumbled into fitness. Maybe as you ask further questions, I'll give you more details.
Okay, I think that's really nice. So I like that stumbling. And for people listening or for people watching, they now ask, how did he stumble into fitness? So what really, I understand the fact that, okay, you were always active, you played football, you tried golf. I'm going to forgive you for that. You went into
Okay.
What was the driving force? Why did you keep improving and looking for that thing that will make you to be able to exercise? So what was, for want of a better word, what drove you into this? Why always for something that will make you active and fit?
Okay. Well, I mean, I've always known generally that there is a direct correlation between general life expectancy and fitness. You know, generally most people want to live long.
Yes.
But we don't always factor in how well. So it's one thing to live long, it's another thing to live long and healthy, you know. And particularly in this part of the world, we like to have things without working for it, you know. So you are hoping that you will live long and you will be healthy. Okay. But I'd always known, I mean, everybody who's done elementary biology knows that it doesn't work that way. Yes. You need to put in some effort. I mean, you don't reap what you do not sow. Yes. You know, so yes, while God will do his bit, you have a lot to do yourself, you know, to, if you like, work along with him, you know, to put it very loosely. But I've also generally, I enjoy sports. I naturally enjoy it. So so playing it was maybe an extension of the fact that I enjoyed it. However, I'm looking, growing up, my late dad was on the heavy side. And I told myself, I don't want to be like daddy. But I knew that the genes were the same and I would be heading that way. You know, so that was always at the back of my mind. Not only that, but I also know that we are, you know, we inherit things from our parents, from your dad and from your mom. Yes. You can hate them all you like, but they gave you the gifts. If you are smart, you got it from there. If you are dull, you got it from there somewhere. But you know, the predispositions to ailments also, you got them from there. That's how DNA works. You know, so if you are looking at your ancestral chart and you're seeing, oh, there was let's say diabetes somewhere there, you know, there's a certain disposition. Doesn't mean you will have it, but there's a disposition. Or you see or you see, yes, heart related issues and so on. You know, it's there. You know, so those things are at the back of your mind. And the fact that there is a disposition means you need to be cautious. You need to be careful. You need to do something about it.
But you were basically being proactive, walking.
Yeah.
A good life.
Well, you see, in the beginning, I wasn't, but these were in the recesses of my mind. Okay.
Okay.
Now I got to a point where, and I'd always do my physical checkup once a year, almost with religious precision, and all my numbers would basically be okay. But then I started getting not too good numbers in the cholesterol level. And even though these days they are saying, look, it's not an issue, but at the time, my good cholesterol was great, my bad cholesterol was bad. And every time and the doctors would say, well, you're a very interesting specimen, because it seems your good cholesterol is fighting your bad cholesterol. So anytime my bad cholesterol will spike, my good cholesterol will spike, and there was always that,
You were facing each other.
They were facing each other, exactly. So the doctor said, you know what, maybe what we should do is to try and crash this thing with medication. I hate medication. I just don't like it. Anytime you see me take it, it's just because I must take it. So I got these prescriptions. I started, but maybe my body is in touch with my mind. So because I hate it, my body started reacting to it, So the doctors changed it once, twice. And at a point they said, you know what, we have to take you off this thing completely, but you must change your lifestyle. So I said, well, I play tennis and I play golf. And they said, well, okay, so increase the intensity. Now, how can you increase the intensity of the golf? If you are playing 3 or 4 times a week, are you going to play 7 times a week? Are you going to play 18 holes every day?
Run around the golf.
No, there was no running at the time. You know how golf is now. You're walking, and then of course you're walking with your pack. So if they are walking slowly, you can't be walking fast, because you're with anyway. So, so I was just wondering, okay, so what will it be? I tried to increase the intensity of the golf. Then, like I said, I stumbled into it, and it's funny how I did. And I've told the story a few times. I went to visit my older sister in Lagos. I'd come back from a trip, and so early in the morning, Saturday morning, I'm just trying to sleep in, and she begins to yell the whole house down. How can people live in a house and eat every day and not work out? Okay, so today everybody's going out, and it was my wife, her husband, my sister, and myself, just the 4 of us in the house. And she won. So all of us, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody gonna be happy in the house. So we needed to make her happy. And all of us went out. And I said we walked maybe 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers.
Okay.
I came back perspiring, tired, but I enjoyed it, Now to back up a bit, my wife had some years before, she comes up with these brainwaves from time to time, and she said we need a treadmill in the house. She needs to be doing some fitness and so on. It's okay, sure, why not? I mean, I go out to play golf. You don't play golf with me, so if you want a treadmill, that's fine. So one went, bought the treadmill and dropped it in the house, and it was a relic. Nobody really used it, and I'd always poke fun from time to time. See your thing, we bought it and it's doing nothing. So when I came back from Lagos,
I have to interrupt you. He was doing something, occupying space. But
one, it was occupying space, definitely. From time to time, you would hang things on it, you find it was more like a museum piece, and it was always there. And I never used one before. I didn't know how it worked or any such. This was when, maybe about 2013, thereabouts, about that time. And another funny thing is, when you know how these health things work, I was reading, and I read a bit, quite, not a bit, a lot. So I was reading somewhere, I was reading about BMIs and, those numbers and so on. I just thought, okay, I put in my own data, and the result came out, and the result said, I'm obese, and I'm thinking, you're out of your mind. You guys, I have an app, it was in the red zone.
Oh, not good.
Not good. Not good is kind. Very bad. At this point, I was weighing about 84. So for my height, I'm about 172 thereabouts. So the numbers were bad. Because you get good, you get borderline, then you get heavy, then you get obese, and I was in the obese zone from that. And I just laughed and I said, I thought I carried myself rather well. I didn't feel heavy, you know. Anyway, so when you put those two things together, so one day I just woke up after this Lagos trip and I saw the treadmill. I said, you know, I really enjoy that walk, you know, so let's just try this on the treadmill. And I told my wife, sweetheart, I'm going to use your relic and let's make it work, you know.
Okay.
So I went on the treadmill for the very first time, and I tried to do 2 kilometers. I was walking, and it was hard.
This
But,
is
you know,
just to have a time frame. This was 2013, 2014.
About 2013. No, 2013.
2013. Okay.
So 2013. So I did it. I mean, I set the, and you know, because like I told you, I'm really laser focused. I'm either doing it or I'm not doing it. So when I got onto the thing, I think I set like 1.5 kilometers, and I was not going to come off that treadmill until I'd done the 1.5 kilo. But I did walking, and I just thought, well, this is not bad, you know, it's not bad at all. And so I worked it backwards on the golf course, and I said, well, if I go and play 9 holes, I would have walked about 3 kilometers. So if I can't go there, I might as well walk the 3 kilometers on this thing because I get the exact same thing.
Yes, makes sense.
So exactly. So that's how I started, you know, doing the 3 kilometer walk on it. And then slowly I just thought, oh, this is a treadmill. You don't just walk on this thing. Because I see people actually running on it. So we should do a bit of running. So so I'd run a bit, of course, but I wouldn't last the 3. No way would I last 3 kilometers running. So I'll walk a bit, then I'll run a bit. And yeah, so that's how I started. But once I started, I kept it at, so that's how I kept it at 3 kilometers, walking like 1.5 and running 1.5, because I think of the track field outside, you know, and 1500 was a great distance. I like those mid distances, even if I wasn't doing them. So I'd imagine myself going around the tracks and so on. And so that's how I got started.
Okay, thanks a lot. I like the story, and you know, when you were talking about your sister, I could imagine somebody, you know, she puts her hand on her waist and scream, "Everybody out! We cannot."
Absolutely right.
Everybody has to work something, and I like such people. So we're going to talk about how we can influence others more as we go on. Right. But this is quite needed. But there's something I want to latch on. When you were doing all this, when you started, you had to go on the treadmill.
Yes.
Did you take some time off from work, or you were still doing it and still carrying on your job? Because
work never stops. Ian. Work never stops.
Yeah, because what a lot of people is, I do not have the time. So how were you able to create time to, you know, your work never stopped, the pressure didn't go down, and I guess you were probably doing more, and you were still exercise. How many times a week were you doing this when you started?
When I started, I was initially doing like 3 to 4 times a week. And then that's at the very beginning, maybe the first 1 month or so, until I really got into it, and I moved it to 5 times a week. So minimum, but otherwise, so it was something I did every day.
Minimum, and you were still working.
Oh yeah, you know, here's the way I worked it out, because I had read somewhere. So at this time I was reading a lot, you know, about these things. And I read somewhere that, look, for the age and what you do, you need to put in at least 150 minutes per week in regular fitness. Moderately intense is the way they put it. So I said, okay, so if it's 150 minutes, that means if I'm doing 5 days, that's 30 minutes. That's the way I worked it out. Or if I'm doing 6 days, then that's maybe 25 minutes. So and it worked well with my 3 kilometers, you know, so I knew if I got in there within 30 minutes, I should finish and cool down, you know, and go and get things done. So what I now did was, this is how much time I need for the day. And I planned my life backwards. So cut the sleeping by that 30 minutes. You need to give something to get something. You know, so I'm a mathematically inclined person. So I know numbers. So if I'm sleeping 8 hours, let's take 30 minutes out of it. If I need to sleep my 8 hours, it means I have to sleep 30 minutes earlier, which means I need to get the way I worked the things out. But what I say to my friends and people generally who say they don't have time is that it's a luxury we think we can afford now. But if your doctor were to tell you that your life depends on this, you will be amazed at how you will create the time. The time will come out of nowhere.
Yes. That
You know,
was
yes.
perspective when they are shown 6 months. I mean, I wish we were more brutal here of telling people you have 2 years to live and then see
That's
how.
right.
Okay, thank you so much for this starting point. So I have an idea now on how you start. Oh, for information,
Yes.
we have about 6 people are watching us live. So and
Oh
then
wow. Okay, cool. Hi guys.
hi everybody out there. So
Yeah.
we know how you started. We know how you
Mm.
make it happen at the beginning.
Mm.
Looking back on 2013 and 2014, if you had to
Mhm.
talk about your running after that and your fitness,
Right.
you use only that experience and you want to advise people who want to come in now, what will you say
Mm.
to very short words? How should they start?
I'll just say go out there, walk for 1 kilometer. Just walk. Because it takes time to get the body and the mind into this thing. It's something new. You can't hit your peak from the beginning. So take your time. Go out there. Even if it's half a kilometer, you can do it. The most important thing is to commit to it and to do it regularly. Those are the two key things. So if all you can do is 1 kilometer 5 times a week, you are better off than somebody who is doing 20 kilometers once a week, because it's more about the consistency than anything else. So you figure out how much time you have. You'll be amazed at what you can do in 10 minutes, do in 15 minutes, in 20 minutes. I mean, I've done some crazy things. Maybe I'm going to go ahead of myself a bit, but I
You can.
remember I went on one of my work trips. I went to this place in Kano, and it was in the midst of the terrorist instability in the north. So there was no way I could go out, and I just thought to myself, but I need to run today, and there's nowhere to go to. So I dressed up and I said, you know what? I have a room. I have a 1 meter by 1 meter space. I jogged on the spot for 30 minutes, and I was so there is really no excuse that it's raining, it's not raining. So in my room on the spot, the room wasn't big, so I jogged on the spot. I remember on one other occasion in a hotel, I think somewhere in Norway. Fortunately, the room itself was quite long and narrow. So I jogged on the spot a bit, and I thought, no, I can make it a bit more interesting. So from door to wall and back to door and back to wall and back to door and back to wall, my 30 minutes is done. So what I'll say to people is start 1 kilometer at a time.
Okay.
And then increase it. Yes, start small, but be regular.
Okay.
And go out of your comfort zone. I try to encourage people to break into a sweat. It's not a stroll.
Okay.
It's a brisk walk. By the time you come, your heart should know you've done something. Your body should know you've done something. And you would know you've done something. I mean, if you stroll 1 kilometer and back, it's great, but it's better if you put a bit more effort into it. And gradually, as your mind and body fuse together into one, you can increase intensity, increase the distance, increase the speed. So that's what I would say. But definitely, everybody can do something.
Thanks a lot. So what I picked from that was start small. So if you are new, start small. Remember that your body is not used to it. You're introducing your body
Correct.
that it doesn't want to.
Something completely new.
Something completely new. And the second part is that it should be consistent. So it's not one in a week thing. So you have to do it enough times so that your body gets used to it and it becomes part of your routine.
150 minutes per week is the recommended.
The recommended one. Okay.
So work it out whichever way you think you can do it.
And then the third one is that please don't go out there and amble along. You should put in some effort so that you will feel that you've done something. So break into it. Give your heart, give your heart something to do. Don't just scroll out and look at
That's why it's called a workout. Give your heart a workout. It must be pumping.
Must be pumping, and then you do it. And your 150, in fact, it ties into all the things I've seen. And I have a fitness tracker, and then it tells you that for every week, you must do a minimum of 150 activity that will heart rate over a particular thing. But I
Right.
like the way you broke it down is even better for
Mm,
me because you now say, okay, I have 150 minutes. How do I divide
mm,
it backwards into the week so that I get the
right.
result I want? Now,
Right.
from what you've said, I want us to segue into something else, which
Hmm.
I hear a lot of complaints. I hear a lot of things. So we've talked about you can plan your life so that you're able to work
Hmm.
out. Talk about that
Hmm.
one. And then you touch on something else that I really want us to look at. When you travel,
Hmm.
how do you now, how are you able to work out? Because I looked at your page and I
Hmm.
hope viewers, you are seeing what I'm seeing here, where you have things, nice pictures of Australia. And these were
Hmm.
not your normal tourist pictures. These were things
Hmm.
that this was after a couple more runs in between work in Gold Coast. I said,
Right.
wow. So you were in Australia, went for something very important. There's no way here that you miss any meeting, but you were able
Hmm.
to run. So for
Yeah.
those of us who are traveling, yes, I've seen a picture of you. I don't know what are you seeing it at your end also?
Yeah, I
Uh,
can see it.
you ran to the Melbourne Convention Center.
That's right. I remember that.
That one you went to the Rod Laver Arena. So I mean,
Yeah.
this is supposed to be a trip where you should finish the conference, drink a lot of,
Mm.
and come back to
Yeah.
your hotel room extremely
Hmm.
tired.
Yeah.
But you didn't just do that.
Yeah.
Oh, for those of us who are watching, the
Mm.
site is at
Mm.
relentlesst.wordpress.com. I'm going to
Mm.
post it in the notes section so that everybody can see it and follow. So, how do we combine traveling and
Mm.
I'm not talking about vacation now. You're traveling
Hmm.
on business. What are the
Hmm.
many things that you need to do so that you can travel on business and
Mm.
still to work out? Running, in your case, is running,
Yeah.
but how do you combine the two? Share with us so that we can also
Okay.
learn you.
All right. So once I started running, I I added it to my daily to-do list. So it's always there. Originally, initially, I used to do all my running. I think I did indoor running for about a year. I was always only running indoors.
Okay.
So what I would do is, first of all, whenever I'm traveling, the first things I pack would be my running gear, my kit. That's the first thing that goes into the box. If it's not going into the box, that box is not going. So that goes in first before anything else. So if I know how many days I'm going, I figure out what it is I need to do. Okay, maybe I need two sets or three sets, as the case may be, and put everything inside plus my other things. Then I'm ready to go. So at the beginning, I wouldn't stay in a hotel if it didn't have a gym. So if
Okay.
I'm planning the hotel, I'm figuring out, I would always ask, does the hotel have a gym? If it had a gym, then it's okay. If it didn't have a gym, I wouldn't go there. That was at the beginning before I started outdoor running.
Okay.
Um, so when I travel and I get to the place, now because I do outdoor running, once I'm driving, let's say from the airport, wherever I am to where I'm staying, I'm looking around, where could I possibly run around this area? And it's amazing, you can run anywhere. That's the great thing about running. I don't need to go look for a court somewhere or go look for a buddy somewhere. You can run anywhere. So I'm just looking around and then I ask questions. Okay, I want to run. Where can I go? And because I've been running for a long time, I have a fairly good, and maybe because I'm also an architect of what distances are by merely looking, and also as a result of playing golf, you can tell, okay, this is about 500, this is about that, and so on. So when I get there, I'm just like at home. So I look at my daily routine, and like I told you, I always work backwards. So if
Okay.
I know how many kilometers I want to log in that day, I know how much time it's going to take me plus my rest time and all that. So I work it backwards. And that's how I set my alarm clock. So once the alarm clock
Okay.
goes off, I know the things I need to do, inclusive of the running. So I need to do all those things, come back, shower, and I'm out. And by the way, I've also found out that, particularly when I travel, there is no better way to see a city than on your feet.
All right.
So at that, with that, I'm actually doing so many things all at the same time. So while I'm running, I'm taking in the city, I'm taking in the people, and I do a lot of thinking and meditation all at the same time. Because if you're out there for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, depending on what it is you are doing, that's a lot of time. So there is a lot that is going on through the mind, and one is processing. And so now I run with music all the time. but the music is playing in the background. It's just there to help with my tempo.
It's like white noise.
Exactly. But I'm doing a lot of thinking. I'm looking at the city, looking at the people, and so on. And indeed, when I started running outside, even where I live, I was amazed at the things that were always going on around me that I never knew existed. Because you're in a car going from point A to point B and back, you don't see anything. So with the traveling, oh, there really is no excuse. Besides, when you're at your base, every hour is taken care of because there are so many things to do. But when you're out, you tend to generally have a bit more free time. So if what I say is, everybody is different. Find what works for you. There were times that I was doing, if I had a daily schedule that I would do. If I couldn't do it at one go, I'll do part of it in the morning, part in the evening, or part in the afternoon, something, always being accountable to myself. So that's it. But traveling, no excuse.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think you, as usual, you've nailed it. So what I pick from that is that we have to, first of all, make whatever exercise that you're doing, you make it part of your routine. So now,
yes,
the running is part of my routine. So it's not something I take about. And I'm going to
right.
try, what do I need to make it happen? So and because it's part of my routine, I already know the basic things that I have to make sure are present for my trip. So I put them in. The third thing is that you are going from the train station, you are going from the airport, you are going from the taxi ramp to your hotel. So you map out the area. So you have an overview of the area. And as you are traveling, as you are going to your hotel or to the conference, you're already mapping out your running route. And then the part is that, hey guys, there's no need to be lazy. You probably have 4 hours when you are out of your house.
Exactly.
So you have more time to do the running or the workout than when you're at home. I mean, this last part is so important to me because I've never thought of it that way, is that you actually have more room to do all your funny exercises. You can now do it by the book. You even have the 30 minutes cool down.
Exactly.
Home and you want to stroll around the house. Maybe you don't finish run. What do they do again? Let's talk about
Yeah.
tell you, oh, let's do this. You can space your meals exactly the way you want it. So what I'm picking from that is that traveling is actually giving people, and I mean, I'm sharing this with our audience, we actually now have better quality time for your exercise. We're not saying you should run away from your house, but that's an option.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you two scenarios.
Yes.
I had my grandmother had died, and my job was to get the corpse from Ibadan to the hometown. So I got into Ibadan. I went to the hotel, and of course I'm doing the same thing. My running shoes are there with me. Well, yes, I'm mourning, but everything is right there, So I got to the hotel. I had already checked out what I thought I would do. So but before I slept, I asked the people, the porters, and the concierge people, where can one run around here? They will think you are crazy, but that's okay. We probably are, but that's also okay.
That's okay.
So yeah. So they told me where you could go here, and I knew the place a bit well, but because you don't live there, you can't take your security for granted. So you need to ask questions. Where can you go? Where can you not go? At what time? Those questions are really key, and I advise people to always ask those questions. So as usual, I planned everything I needed to do. So early in the morning, I was out. I did what I needed to do, and came back. When we're working on the airport in Dutse, it was the same. It was the exact same thing. So you look around, ask, is it safe? Is it not safe? And so on. And I took in quite a lot. I mean, I remember in the Ibadan case, I was staying at, can't remember the name of the hotel, but it's near the MTN head office. And I ran from there all the way to UCH and beyond UCH, turned around. And I went, and I had fun. I mean, I saw things I had never seen, because I had applied that route several times and I was always driving, So, yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. There's a point that you make there again. I want to repeat is that when you are on foot, you will see the town, even your neighborhood, even your estate that you live in. You will see things that you can never see in a car because there's you. What's the slowest that people go in a car? 40 kilometers an hour, 40 kilometers an
That's too
hour.
slow. That's too slow. Maybe 60.
So, I mean, that's why I'm even coming down at 40 kilometers an hour. You're not seeing anything. When you
Yeah.
run, I run
Mm,
in Agungi, Lekki area.
mm,
And
mm.
I was there for 3 years because I wasn't a runner. I'm a lead convert, just like you.
Okay.
Uh, you see things that you'll be wondering, am I in the same place? So it's like, is this really the place that I've been
Mm.
passing every day? You know, you
That's
see,
right.
like nowadays, I see the way drivers are watching videos. So people are watching video while
So
driving.
you need to be careful.
Driving, I wouldn't notice little things like that. All I know is
Mm.
that the guy is erratic. But when you're
Yeah.
running, you see somebody behave funny, you
Yeah.
say,
Give me a second.
so this is really critical that you pointed that out. And I
Yeah.
think that one way of also knowing what is going on around our neighborhood. I mean, you see
Yeah.
where, I mean, this is a very bad word, but you see things like, oh, this is where all the boys that take drugs congregate. So
Hmm.
you to avoid that area next, or you make friends with them because when you're on food,
Yeah.
they you know that crazy guy don't come in the trek.
Mm, mm. That's right.
I'm mixing directly with people.
That's
You
right.
told something about running in the hotel. I made a very big mistake at home. I read
Mm.
about a guy that ran a marathon in his hotel room, and it
Crazy, crazy guy.
was still running at 70 something. So they asked him some of the things. He said he has have a marathon on a
Mm.
battleship, then he ran a marathon in his hotel room. And I mistakenly shared that story at home. And
Mm.
now, when herself could not complete her steps, our
Mm.
bed, our sitting room turns into a.
That's a good one.
What are you doing? She said, but you told me somebody did a marathon in the hotel room. So
Exactly.
kilometers in the sitting room, shouldn't you be happy?
That's right. That's right.
After some time, I became a convert. So sometimes when I don't make my minimum steps, or maybe I had
Yes.
a big plan, oh, I'm going to cycle this morning and
Hmm.
I could cycle in the nights and oh, I checked, I've not made my steps. I just run
Mm.
around in room or outside.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I think
Absolutely. Good job.
so. Thank you so much, Tunde. I
Mm.
mean, it's
Mm.
really fantastic having
Mm.
this interview, sharing things with people. I'm
Yeah.
just going to ask you. I don't know whether this question is a hard question or an easy question,
Mm.
but it's very popular in Nigeria. So I'm trust of transferring the problem to you. What do we
Okay.
tell people that are big bone? You know, their family, everybody in their family is big bone, so they're not really fat, but that is how they have been since they were born. So, what type of advice do we give those people?
You know, the way I always, I have a post that's on my blog. There's something I have on that, but it's a very funny post. It says something like it's not something like it's not hereditary to say we are big bone. The only reason why you are big bone is because nobody's running in the family. Something funny like that, you know. But hey, here's the fact: we're not all, our body types are different. We're not all the same, you
Okay.
know, and we need to acknowledge that. But having said that, what I say to people is look around. I mean, look at your feet. Your feet don't grow fat, you know.
Yes.
Your palms don't grow fat.
Okay.
Your head doesn't grow fat.
Yes.
Okay, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Seen
So
it.
it's every other place that grows fat. And you know, I'm an architect. Human beings are proportioned. When something is out of proportion, you know it.
Yes.
And thirdly, you know, I tell people, look at yourself when you were much, much younger. This is not how you were.
Okay.
You know, so and you didn't just happen to be here. Not everybody is going to be a size 0.
Yes.
I mean, it goes without saying. Some of us are tall, short, you know, slim, and so nobody's going to be skinny, and nobody's asking anybody to be skinny. But we must be healthy. So this big bone thing is a farce. I remember when I saw my own. I told you when I saw my BMI numbers, I just said no, Igbo man, they want to deceive us. That their body structure is not the same as our body structure. You know, all the things we say.
Yes.
It's amazing that when I started running, and by the way, when I started running, I wasn't running to lose weight. That wasn't what I was doing. That was never on the cards, because for me, weight was not a problem. I was running to get my cholesterol down. The weight loss was just incidental to the run. I was amazed when I started coming down, because when I started, I was probably about 82, 84 kilograms. My waistline was about 36. My neck was about 16, pushing 17. And now my waistline is down to about 30. My neck is down to 15. I'm back to the way I was when I graduated. And so when I look at the two, I'm saying, wow, I never imagined I would ever come back here. But I didn't realize that I was big in my family. My dad, like I said, I knew what my dad looked like. And so I knew what the family looked like. So, it's a health issue more than anything else. And in Nigeria, when you are big, you say, yeah, you're a big man. And by the way, when I started shrinking, everybody was complaining. The whole family, everybody was complaining. It became a family challenge, but now everybody is used to it, and you see a better you. So this whole big bone thing, like I said, let's not get deceived. Let me use that word. It's a health issue. Let's deal with it from that point of view. And you want to live long and be healthy. By the way, extra weight means your ankles are taking load they weren't designed to take. Your knees are taking load they weren't designed to take. Your waist is taking load they weren't designed to take. And you'll pay the price down the line. You don't want to.
Thank you so much, because this has been what we've been preaching to people. There's nothing like big bones. And a doctor put it in a fantastic way, just to add to what you did. And we went in, we had an emergency in the night, so I went in with somebody. And when the emergency has been sorted, the staff that helped me, very high level person in the organization, now I told the doctor that he was having a bit of back pain. And the doctor was still writing something, and he didn't even look us at it. Just when the guy was talking, he just said, "Oh, you're overweight." And my was like, I know, I could see his face change. And he told the doctor, "You're not even looking at me. That's very rude." And the doctor said, "Oh, okay, I've left the writing and now I'm looking at you. What was the question again?" So he said, "I'm having..." And I said, "Okay, you are overweight." And he said, "Well, like that in the family, and I'm big bone." And then the doctor asked one question, which I cannot forget. This is 14 years ago. He said, "Look at the pictures of people in a refugee camp. Have you ever seen somebody that is naturally fat?"
That's absolutely true. All the big bone people suddenly get small boned.
And that image has never left my hand, that in no refugee camp picture have I seen somebody that their family is naturally big. So even in that situation, they were naturally big. He said, "You don't see that." So there's only calories in that will allow you to do
That's it. Right.
I've taken so much of your time, and viewers
That's
are really...
okay.
I've got some comments on WhatsApp. I don't know why my friends, some people didn't want to put the comments on the video and saying, "Oh, this is really nice, but stop yapping."
Okay.
I'm going to mention your name next time you send me that type of so he sent me a WhatsApp comment.
Okay.
So I'm really happy with the interview, and I just wanted you to share. And I know you are in the virtual running club, and how can people join this club, and where else can people meet you?
Oh, where can they meet me?
I mean,
I'm all over the place. So
can they contact you to be part of what?
Yeah, but the virtual running club is a great place to be. And by the way, it's a club that I started, and I can't be more grateful to God than just looking at the impact it's made in people's lives. And here's what happened. I mean, when I started running and seeing the benefits, of course, when you see good things, you want to share. So I started sharing with people, sharing with my friends, colleagues, and so on. The benefits and why I thought it was great to be doing it. But I also understand that we are not the same in terms of what am I trying to say? Okay, basically, I mean, I can do things on my own. Once I make up my mind to do things, I don't need anybody around me. But some people need support systems. Some people need the support of a group and so on. So I kept running. I've been running for about maybe a year and a half. And one thing I was doing was I was always posting each run on Facebook and just sharing it. And I found people passing comments, liking, and friends, yeah, it's too much. It's okay. Are you sure? And you had all sorts of comments, good, not too good, but they're all showing concern. And people are saying, no, I admire, but I can't do it. So there was a day I just put up something and I had a brainwave and I said, well, there's something I'm thinking about. If you are interested, we're going to create something. So like this page. And many people read, I mean, they don't read before they like, they just like. So as people were liking, I was noting down their names. And once I was ready, I set up a small challenge and I said, well, this is the challenge. And these are all the people who had indicated willingness to join. And I put them in teams. And this was all on Facebook, and they all came back, and some of them started complaining. No, you didn't see my permission. I said, well, go back to this post of mine. I said, like, and you liked, and you passed a comment. Oh, I didn't know. I said, well, sorry, you're inducted. Next time, read before you like.
Read before
so read before you, exactly. Read it to the end. And I think there were maybe like 20 to 30 people. So I set up 4 groups, and I put a small challenge. And I said, okay, so these groups, in 1 week, we're going to see, so there were 4 teams, determination, perseverance, relentless, and endurance. And each team had a group captain. And I said, well, so this is what it's going to be. And so when I was now putting it up, I needed a name. And I said, well, this is virtual, because there were people from all around the world. And I said, so that's how it became the Virtual Running Club. And people really enjoyed it, and it's amazing that I set a minimum threshold. I said minimum of 2 kilometers. And then, believe me when I tell you that by the end of that particular challenge, some people had done half marathons.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So in 1 week, they were already smitten by the bug, just because it was a team event. And as I said, I mean, the Virtual Running Club is online, and there are people from all over the world, and literally. So there are people in America, in Australia, in Canada, in the UK. A lot of them I know, but a number I do not know. And from time to time, I organize these challenges, and it's incredible. I mean, I've put you in there a few times, and you've done pretty well. So thanks for your support. We can only but encourage one another.
Thank you. So the Virtual Running Club is on Facebook. I think I'm going through it now. You can see, oh, you did 22 kilometers. 22
yeah, this morning. This morning,
wow.
Yeah.
So people post, you can look at it. People do runs. They post the map of where they ran. They have another.
And to interrupt you, this is really great, because when you are doing it alone, there are times, I mean, even for me up to today, there are times I don't want to go out there. The alarm goes off and you're thinking, oh no. I mean, this is personal. It's not by force. Why should I? But when you know that there are people who are looking up to you, you are looking up to them, you are feeding off people, and so on. And it's so for the sake of the club and the group and the friends that you have made, and a number of the people that have never seen each other, but they talk as if they know each other, and some of them have surreptitiously bumped into each other in different parts. Oh, yeah, I'm Piazio, I'm so and so, and they continue from where they stopped, and it's a great platform for friendship, and some people have had businesses spawned from there. It's just amazing. But at the end of the day, we all love running, and it's open for anybody to join.
Okay, thanks a lot. So you've seen it there. The Virtual Running Club is on Facebook. If you don't remember anything, just remember Virtual Running. You go in, and it's fantastic. People run, and the key part of having an accountability partner is fantastic, because all of us, we have those mornings that we don't want to stand up, or we have those weeks that we feel the workload is so much that we can't possibly move it. But when like one of the challenges that you just spoke about, when you know that your team needs 3 extra kilometers, and every other person has done their bit, remaining you are going to get out there and do anything. Thank you so much. I'm just going to quickly flash your company, and if you can tell us a little bit of just a summary of what you do in real life, so that we can close up. We really appreciate so much your sharing your time with us. So what does your firm do really in day-to-day life. Okay, I think I have knocked off the other end of the broadcast. So this is the where Tunde works, and he's the principal partner and the CEO is El-Mansur Atelier Group, and they have done projects all over Nigeria and around the world. They do a lot of airports, and he's a lot of fun things. So you can see a list of their projects here. Thank you so much, Architect Tunde, for being part of this broadcast. And viewers, remember, you can join the virtual running club. You can do your running, start small, just like we said during the interview. If you start small and you are consistent and you keep to what you say you've done, exercise and running is something that you can do easily. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and see you in our next broadcast. Oh, you can follow up this broadcast at iyangifyong.com. And if you think this is interesting and you enjoyed it, do like and share so that other people can also benefit from the beautiful content that was shown today. See you guys next time. Remember, you can check me out at iyangifyong.com. Have fun, all of you.